Hi, my name is Chi.
And my name's Edward, and you're watching Zygostatics.
And today we're going to show you how to determine your body type.
Yes, so this is one highly requested video. Lots of people have been messaging us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and till date we've been trying to answer everyone, and people have been sending us pictures. We can't answer all of these comments anymore, it's getting out of hand. So today we're going to show you guys how to determine your baseline body types, and we're going to explain the significance of this as well. So make sure you grab a piece of paper and you watch this whole video, because there's going to be so much content in this video that you don't want to miss it. So Chi, what do they have to do? The standard protocol.
Comment, like, subscribe,
and turn on post notifications so you don't miss a thing. So Chi, what is our definitions of body types or somatotypes?
So body types or somatotypes are classification systems used to group individuals into different categories according to their structural features.
Yeah. So at the first level of structure, we have what, Chi?
So you have your bone.
You have your bone, and this doesn't change much. So unless you're pre-puberty or you're an old age, your skeleton should relatively stay the same. And this is going to be your the strongest structural component that's going to determine how you look. Then on top of our bone, we have what, Chi?
Your subcutaneous fat and muscle.
Muscle. So muscle first, and then our subcutaneous fat. So obviously these can change depending on our lifestyles and if we do exercise, if we don't do exercise. And all of these structural elements that we've just described here is going to change how you look, or it's going to affect how you look. So when we determine our body type, Chi, what do we base it on?
So normally people base it on just how they look, a holistic approach, which is incorrect. You need to definitely base it on your bone structure.
Yeah.
Because it stays the same according to sort of, well, it always stays the same, doesn't it?
Yeah, it always stays the same. Because I think what happens is some people, they look at themselves and say, oh, I'm rectangular. And they're forgetting that they've got a load of excess fat on their waist. So they completely miss what their genetic body type is. And they obviously train according to that in the wrong way. So they don't ever learn what they would best look, whatever physique they would best look good in. That's dead ass.
That was fresh.
Let me start. So Chi, what do our body types tell us?
So your body type will tell you what type of structure you have. It won't tell you what type of food you should stay away from, or basically anything else that's not relevant to your structure.
Yeah. So again, you'll see lots of people online trying to tell you what body type you have, but then also throwing in some assumptions based on your body type, which don't exist. So these have no basis in science. So one example is, for instance, if you're an endomorph, you tend to gain weight really fast, faster than anyone else, and you alone, as an endomorph, shouldn't eat carbs because you have a bad carb tolerance. So we're just going to say that again, there's no research showing that that's actually true. So if you are an endomorph then, or if you think you're an endomorph, that's just a visual cue based on how you look today, now. So what we're going to do today is we're going to show you guys how to determine your baseline body type. So this is not how you look based on obviously today. It might be if you are resembling closely your baseline body type. It's going to be based on your genetic bone structure.
In simple terms.
Go on.
In simple terms.
Go on.
Ed, you're just trying to say that your body type is mostly determined on your bone structure rather than fat or muscle, because that can change.
Yes. So now, determining your body type. So first of all, Chi, what do they have to draw?
So you need to draw a cross.
That cross is our Zygostatics body type matrix. So just do that cross, Chi. So on the top of the y-axis, Chi, what is there?
So this is your inverted triangle.
On the bottom of the y-axis, we have pair. So these are polar opposites, yeah? They're the opposite of each other. And then on the left-hand side, what do we have?
You have your, what was it again?
Square. And on the right-hand side, we have rectangle. And in the middle, you have hourglass. So once you've drawn this matrix, this can actually help you to determine your body type. If you're a guy, get rid of hourglass in the middle. That doesn't exist for us, or for most people it wouldn't exist, so just take it out. And now we're going to show you the next step. So yes, using Chi as our example, we're going to show you guys the first step. So the first step is we need to work out where on the y-axis we're going to do our first line, and this is going to determine one aspect of our body type. So first, Chi, we're going to be doing our shoulder width.
Yes.
So how do you determine your shoulder width?
So if you want, it's best to just follow your collarbone all the way until the end, until you can feel this bony edge here.
Yeah. So just until the end of your actual shoulder bone. So don't actually obviously place the marker on the end of the humerus bone. It's right here. That's the place you do it. So we recommend you mark it. I can normally eyeball this place, obviously because I've got experience with this. But if you can't eyeball it, just mark it. So it's roughly there. So now we've got 2 crosses, and that's the shoulder width. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to work out, let's go in order. We're going to work out the width of the thorax. So Chi, what is our thorax?
So your thorax is your rib cage.
Your rib cage, yeah. So this is actually one aspect of your structure a lot of people take for granted. They don't actually think about this, but it's really important, and we'll explain why. So what you're going to do, I'm not going to touch you. I want you to poke in through your rib cage and find where your rib cage is. So if you're overweight, this might be a little bit harder for you. It might help to actually pinch at your side and try and actually get rid of all the fat and make a marking on your skin where your actual rib cage is.
Yes,
Yeah.
or take a deep breath.
Yeah.
And it'll help you.
So where's your rib cage, Chi?
Here.
So there. So I'm not going to mark on your clothes because this is your new prototype jumpsuit design. We don't want to mess it up. And we don't have any washable pens. So we're going to you're going to let you hold it. Just put your hand on it.
Yeah.
So it's there. I'm going to mark this on the screen using some digital nice tools. And now the hips. So now the last part of our somatotyping system, you need to actually work out your width of your hips. So it's the same thing. You're going to put your finger in deep into your hip bone and actually feel on the side of your body, so not there, the side where your hip bone is, and make a mark there as well. So once you've made a mark in all of these places, you're now going to stand in front of a mirror and with an upright posture, see the actual gradients between these. So generally, if your shoulder width is equal to your hip bones, then you are close to an hourglass or a pear. If your shoulder width is a little bit wider than your hip bone, then you're most likely an hourglass. If it's just a little bit wider, if it's much wider, then you're closer to the what's it called, inverted triangle on that vertical scale. Yeah. So you've got either inverted triangle, hourglass, or pear. So remember, if you're a pear, it's almost the same width, or just slightly your hips might be a little bit wider than your actual shoulder bone. Cool? So now work out what you have and put a marker or mark in on that vertical scale of where that point is. So that's just the vertical scale first of all. Now we're going to work on the horizontal. So now you're going to look at yourself and look at the size of your thorax. Is your thorax smaller than your hip bone? If your thorax is smaller than your hip bone by quite a distance, you're most likely going to go closer to the rectangle side of our matrix. If your thorax and your hip bones are generally the same size, or even maybe your thorax might be a little bit, what's the word called, bigger than your hip bones, then you're near the square side. One other thing you can actually do to actually refine this part of it is look at yourself overall and see if you look more like a rectangle or a square. And if you have shorter limbs, let's just say you're a short person, you're around 5 foot, you might look more square. So it's also dependent on how big your thorax is in general. So if you've got big hip bones and a big thorax, then you're generally going to be square. But if your thorax is smaller, then you're closer to the rectangle side. So okay, now you know what your Y and X coordinates are. Put an actual X where you are on that body type chart, and that's going to give you your baseline body type. So Chi is in between the pear, hourglass and rectangle regions.
Yes.
And you can see exactly where she is. And for me, I'm somewhere near the top. I'll let Chi do me as well, so that you can actually see what it would look like on someone else of a different body type other than her. But I'm somewhere near the top, and I'm somewhere near the rectangle. And there's no hourglass in the middle for guys, yeah, but I'm on that side of the quadrant. So obviously this is the end of my shoulder bone. This is the end of my hips. As you can see, I'm quite mesomorphic, right? The thorax is still bigger than my hip bone. So on that scale, my thorax for a guy, it's not super wide, but at the same time, it's not super rectangular. So I'm on the upper right hand quadrant in the middle, and I'm going to show you a little bit, or I'm going to show you guys a diagram of where I am on that chart.
So now that we've helped you determine your body type, it's time to understand the significance of this.
Yeah, so at the moment you haven't actually got a clear body type from our example. You're somewhere on this graph in between 3 different body types. Now, the key to this is understanding that no one has a set body type. So no one is, for instance, 100% pear, 100% inverted triangle, square, or rectangular. It's all a continuous scale. So you can have someone that is a higher degree of pear than someone else, even though they're both generally pear. So what you've got to do is, on this scale, see where you are and see what quadrant you're in. There's 4 little squares. Work out where you are, and then looking at the different body types that surround that quadrant, you could be any one of those, and that's going to be the easiest way to decide what physique goal you should have.
Yes.
If you're looking opposite, what is opposite of the quadrant you're looking in, that is what you...
Impossible.
That's impossible. That's a polar opposite. So if you're trying to be, let's just say you're on the mesomorphic scale or the inverted triangle scale, and you're a square and you're somewhere near the top left, the opposite to that is the bottom right, yeah? And the bottom right is in between pear, is in between rectangle. That would mean that you would have to have a thorax that is actually smaller than yours is. It would mean that your shoulders have to be narrow as opposed to wide, and it would be impossible, literally impossible. So we've had lots of people asking us, can you change your body type? Can you change your body type?
Yes.
You can. So as you mentioned, you can be any one of the 3 that are surrounding where you are on that square. So Chi, what would you say your body type closely resembles on that chart?
So I would say I'm either 3/4 or maybe just halfway between an hourglass and a pear.
Yeah.
So I could either be one of them, depending on how I choose to train my body.
Exactly.
So I can change from pear to hourglass.
Easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, because obviously you've got muscles around your shoulders, so you could always get those muscles to become slightly bigger, and she could be an hourglass, and she could also be a rectangle if she decided to lose all her muscle and obviously just retain a very, very sort of lean physique all the way around. It would be very bony with lots of hip dips and obviously lots of kinks and craters, but generally it would be very, very rectangular. And me too, also, I'm quite mesomorphic. I could either increase the degree of mesomorphicity and get even broader shoulders to obviously enhance that gradient, or I could decide to try and even it out and, for instance, gain weight. And if I gain weight around my my waist, then that's going to reduce the gradient. I'm going to go somewhere a little bit lower than that, and I might look more like a square. So when she met me, I was mesomorphic, but I was quite rectangular. I was quite skinny, slim. And when I met her, she was rectangular and much more of an hourglass than she is a pear. Her hips weren't that wide. Instead, there was a gradient between her waist and her hips, which is obviously because of the thorax. You can't change that. That's the genetic aspect here, right? So your thorax is a certain size, and that's going to affect how big your waist is, right? So that's how she looked, and obviously right now she's training to become more of a pear and obviously gain weight down below. So now you know what you can and can't achieve and what is possible. We're going to do a quick test. We're going to see if you guys learn how or know how to accurately determine body types. So Chi, whose body type are we first going to be testing our viewers on?
So the first person is Terry Crews.
So you've got about 10 seconds now. Look at these pictures that are on this side of the screen and see if you can put them anywhere on your graph, your Zygostatics body type matrix. And then we're going to show you guys where we put him at, and we're going to tell you guys why you might have got it wrong. Okay, so we're back. Terry Crews isn't actually that mesomorphic. So what is throwing you off? Well, Terry Crews likes to stand like this. And there's a reason why he likes to stand like this. Because this opens out his shoulders and makes his shoulders look broader than they actually are. Terry Crews actually doesn't have that big or that wide of a shoulder width in comparison to his waist. And he's got a huge thorax, and he's also got a huge 37-inch waist. So Terry Crews is a big guy. So he can never look like me, first of all. Let's just put that out there. And I couldn't look like him. I'm way too slim. I've actually got a gradient going down all the way from my thorax to my waist, whereas his thorax is about the same width as his waist, and his shoulder width, even though he's got a lot of muscle mass, he can't get his shoulders any wider, even through training. I think that's as wide as they would go.
So next person is
There.
So if you guess that this person is a inverted triangle square, then you've definitely got it right.
More
if you
on that side of the scale.
If you said pear, rectangle, then no.
Yeah. So it's more on that side of the scale. So as you can see, all of the people we've actually displayed to you guys are in decent physical condition and in decent health. It's harder to tell if someone's overweight exactly what their baseline body type is, because you don't know where their bones are. Obviously, we can't see based on just an overall picture of someone how big their thorax is. So it's easier to actually find all of this stuff out if someone is slim. So if you are overweight and you want to work out your body type, it's easier just to feel for yourself, and you can work it out for yourself, and that will help you out. If you're ever in doubt, look at some family relatives, maybe your mum or maybe your siblings. If they're obviously slim, you can actually work out maybe what your body type should look like, because it generally does. Your bone structure generally does run in the family. So cool. So anyway, Chi, what do they have to do, man?
So basically, I hope you guys have found this very useful. Hopefully you guys are now independent body type connoisseurs.
Yeah.
Whatnot.
And even if not, we would like it if you guys now feel motivated that you can look good no matter what body type you have. So it's not about, I want to be a pear, I want to look like Chi, or I want to look like Ed. You want to look good. That's what you want to look like, obviously. We can help you look good, and I assure you, everyone of any different body type can look really good. And that's what we've just shown you. We've shown you examples of different people of obviously different body types, and they all look good, I think, in my honest opinion. So it's just about working out what you are and having the confidence to be yourself, isn't it? And so the next question, go on.
I was gonna say
No, go.
I was gonna say that hopefully now that you know what your body type is, you can help yourself so you can make realistic goals, and you also know what muscles you can train to make that body type a reality.
I know the next question. This is what I was going to say. The next question people are going to ask is, can you make a workout plan for this body type, or for my body type, or for this body type? Because I don't know what the best physique is for myself. So quickly on the screen, we're just going to put up here our Zygostatics physique targets. And these physique targets are based on different body types. So looking at this chart here quickly, you can try and determine which one would be good for you. If you actually want us to make proper bodyweight courses and stuff, for a starter, you can check out our Patreon page. We've just established this page. And Chi, what's this page going to help people or help us to do?
It's going to help us to make money. Basically, guys, we're trying to build our website, and at the moment things are taking long. And obviously we work full-time jobs, so we're waiting for that monthly check to come in. Monthly
so we can actually fuel more creativity. Yeah.
At the moment, we just need a bit of support for people who definitely want to see the courses come out, and they want urgency. So be on our Patreon page. There's different tiers for you. We're basically trying to bring this course out so it's more tailored to every single individual.
Yeah.
Obviously now you see me on YouTube and I'm giving you all these workouts. You have to personally figure out on your own whether and how much of it to do until you should stop. Our system will help you to make sure you understand how to use the exercises, and this will all be done, but blah. Long story short,
it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, it's going to be great. So so the
website's going to be amazing. We're still trying to obviously build it, so any support we get will be definitely appreciated. And a lot of people have asked you about your clothing, so what can they also do on the Patreon page?
So we have an amazing tier for people who want to be involved in the fashion design process of Zygowear. As you can see, these jumpsuits and vests if you're a guy, and jumpers and stuff. So we're trying to get these all made, and we're trying to make important decisions that obviously will be important for you who are wearing them. And if you want to get involved and support us in that project whilst we pay the suppliers, then you can.
So, there's benefits though. You'll get benefits. So people that are patrons, you will be on the list of people that we might send prototypes too early, obviously, just so you guys can try it. Let us know how you feel about it. We'll let you guys see some of the design process behind the scenes, and obviously you guys can have an input and say, for instance, no, we don't like it like that. It would be better if this was done this way and that was done that way. And because you're dealing with us and we're the people obviously at the moment doing the research and development, we can actually implement those changes.
Yeah.
So get on that if you want to do that as well.
And also you do get out of the people who are supporting the fashion design project, you actually get to be able to test these prototypes out when we start trying to figure out if it is what we want.
Yeah.
So
literally, that's what I said. But anyway, next point. Next point. So anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. We know that hopefully you would appreciate everything in there.
And also thank you so much in advance for the people who are interested in being part of the Zygo Patron family. Zygo Patron family. So yeah, so thank you guys, and we hope you really enjoy our journey. Thank you.